realize that, you can't be afraid to do things in life and that
Hmm.
really your health is the one only problem you should have in life, like that you should focus on, right? On
Hmm.
problems. Everything else is just like superficial.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like a really good point. We could always keep that. It's like because we do get trapped in like worrying about different things that are just so surface, superficial level of like worry, and then it
Yeah.
causes us to like it causes health issues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
then or like upset stomachs or headaches or migraines or whatever, however it impacts your life. I mean, and then it's like I'm trying to retrain my brain to no, like I'm safe in this body. I'm grounded.
Yeah.
Like I'm safe in my house. I'm safe in
Yeah.
like what I'm choosing to do, and
Totally agree.
so that like I don't allow the anxiety because like worry will spark anxiety. Anxiety will spark a stomach ache. Oh, my microphone was like way too far away. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
And that will just lead to illness,
yeah.
which once you get that, that will be your only problem. Illness. Everything else will like fly out the window. Doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
then you'll just sit there thinking about all the things you didn't do because you were scared or because of
Hmm.
some excuse you were putting and you know
Yeah.
that because you get time, sickness makes time for you to really think about all that because it's the only problem you have.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like a very good point because I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what am I afraid of? Like, if I want to advance in my day job, if I want to advance in whatever area of my life that I choose, why hold back? Because you're never, what are you waiting for? The perfect time to be completely ready?
Mm,
Like, you're never going to be completely ready. You're never going to have enough time ever. So
exactly.
it's like, I was just
Exactly.
talking to my sister about that today. Like, I made a bold choice in my day job and just kind of like, put myself out there and it was like I started to like go down that rabbit hole of like, oh no, what did I do? Hi, Tawny. And
Hi,
it's
Tawny.
it's like it's like what um oh, I thought she was frozen for a second. Hi, Donnie. I was like, why am I worried about this? Like
Mm,
I see a clear path forward. I see exactly what I want to do. I see an opportunity. And why am I worrying about making a bold choice or making it known to the people that need to know that this
exactly.
is what I want to do, especially after
Yeah.
losing Frankie, like, I mean, and
Yeah.
we haven't really unpacked that and we don't have to right now, but I mean, it's like you can't hold yourself back.
No, no, you can't.
I
So,
think so. Maybe can you hear us? No, she's figuring it out. Okay. Um, is Lloyd coming? Is that what he said?
yeah, he's gonna be a little late, but he's coming.
Okay, perfect. Looks like she's figuring it out.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so you just don't worry about it. Like you take care of you take care of your health, you sit in and hang out, and it's just nice to see you because it's been a little too long.
Yeah,
It's been too long. And
it,
it's
it has.
still, I'm not used to you having braces.
So weird. Yeah, I
It's,
know. It is.
like, are you used to them now?
Yeah, and I think with voiceover it hasn't been a problem. Um, I thought it would be,
Yeah.
but
No.
no, I just put wax on them and
Yeah.
I'm good to go. Hi,
Hi,
Tawny.
Tawny.
Hi, sorry about that. I don't, it's
That's
so
okay.
weird how sometimes Zoom will connect with the preamp and then just sometimes it doesn't. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, tech. It's technology. I know. It's like so weird. It's like so great, but then it's so weird.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh
That's
my
okay.
gosh, are you kidding me? This is the chaos table. Like anything
Yeah.
goes. Like, I mean, trust me. Yeah. Lloyd is joining us, but he's gonna be a little bit late, so that's chaos.
Yeah.
But we were just talking about how sometimes you just have to say, screw it. Like, life is too short, don't hold yourself back, just push forward and make bold choices and whatever you're choosing to do because like Gabby was saying, your health is so important to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your health is like super important to you. Oh my God, I just realized I left my dogs outside. It's 90 degrees and I fed them early, so I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. I
No,
apologize.
go,
Just
go, 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 go,
Go,
go.
I'll be
go.
right back.
Oh my God. Hi, Tawny. We are so
Hi.
glad that you can make it and that you're here. We are very excited to have you on.
Yeah, I'm really
Um,
glad to be here.
so sorry if I'm speaking a little strange. I'm getting over this like a virus thing.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's lame.
Yeah. That's why we got on the whole
All right.
health issue.
Oh, the whole health thing.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you get to a certain age and stage in your life where like health, like Gabby was saying, her point was is that, health is all you have. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Right.
not to worry and allow like the little like tiny things to like hold you back or, ruin your day or give you a stomach ache or, yeah, it's important.
Easier
Uh,
said than done, right?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
totally. Totally. So we're so happy that you're here and like hanging out with us and accepted our
Yeah.
invitation. And
Yeah.
we love like meeting other voice actors and actors and, highlighting and hearing how you got your start because I feel like it's so relatable and I always feel like everyone has a story to tell.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's inspiring and then sometimes it's validating and then sometimes it's just like just relatable.
Sure, yeah.
I I have a son who's a voice actor, and you got started when you were a child, so I think that's
Yeah.
really cool. So,
Yeah.
how did you get started in voiceover? I mean, at 6, that's young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We were not in a good financial spot. My parents were super young and they saw a potential moneymaker. So they put me into acting.
Wow. And
Nice.
Yeah.
did you like it? I mean, when you were younger, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it. I think that there is a difference between like telling your child in elementary school, like you have a job and you need to go to your job and do your job
Mm.
and kind
yeah,
of focus on that. And then like doing, community theater and like, and that kind of stuff for fun.
right.
Um, so yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm not a huge advocate for the business side of it for kids. Like
Yeah.
I think that there's exceptions to the rule, of course, but yeah, generally I'm like just in my experiences with it, I'm not the biggest fan, but yeah, like I got my first commercial when I was 6 years old for a local radio station in San Diego, and I did
Wow.
theater as well as voice acting and
Yeah.
just kind of anything that I could we could get our hands on.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, my youngest is he's been doing it for a couple of years, but it was one of those things where it was a little bit of a different experience where I was doing voice acting and taking classes and coaching and starting to get my career going and then he started telling everyone he was a voice actor. So I was like, "All right, well, let's put some money where your mouth is, like let's get you some coaching," which is kind of hard to find voiceover coaches for kids. It's, there are a handful of them. And so anyway, so like, but now to the point where you're saying, I always say your agent or your manager sent you an audition. Here it is. Do you want to do it? No? Okay, fine. Moving on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or
totally.
or I give him the choice too. But, also there's been times where he's like, I get to leave school early. Hooray! Like
Yeah.
there's always a bonus to that. So you've kind of guide us through that. So like you started as on camera acting, yes, or more voiceover acting, or both, really.
Yeah, I was doing both. When I was an infant, I was doing print modeling. So
Oh
that was like,
wow.
Wow.
I think the very first one was like a baby blanket, like ad kind of a thing.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, and I was somewhere in that 6 month-ish range with that. So I was
yeah,
doing like, yeah, and then on camera commercial stuff with baby stuff.
yeah,
I don't even remember that kind of thing. It was
yeah.
the 90s. It was the 90s. It was the early 90s too. So I like have nothing from that time at all. But yeah, it was stuff like that, very local in San Diego too. So
Yeah,
and very like, as we were finding it and it was a different time and
yeah.
I didn't get an agent until I was like around that time I was like 6 years old. And even then, my agent didn't get me a lot of work. We were getting me my own work. So that was
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember this at all, but there was stuff like we have in San Diego called the San Diego Reader, and that
Hmm.
stuff is kind of in there's a version of that in different cities, is what I've heard. So it's like you have like your
Mhm.
little local like reader newspaper type of
Where
thing.
they
Yeah.
post like jobs and gigs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So posted there, Craigslist too at the
Oh
time.
wow.
So we
Yeah.
found stuff on Craigslist, found stuff at colleges too, because
Mm.
if you would be in the like student films or in like
Yeah.
the
Indie films.
college productions, then you could get training from those
Wow.
Yeah.
professors a lot of times. So
Yeah.
sometimes it was like a trade. So it's like, yeah, I'll be in your play because you need a kid for this
Right.
college, SDSU. And then you got to get the training from the professors
Yeah.
at SDSU, which was awesome.
Yeah. That's so cool. I do that now. Like we have, Miami-Dade and University of Miami in Florida. I've done a couple different like college and indie films, So it's like a great way to get on set. It's a great way to meet people and understand the industry and learn from like the inside out. So I think that's like a really good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
when did you transition from kind of you started off because your parents made the decision for you when you were younger to transitioning into where you were kind of making the decisions and you were making the choices for your own career, like was that like later in, when you were older or
Yeah, that was more in the teens. So that was like
okay.
late teens, 20s. Hi.
Mrs. Lloyd.
Oh,
He's
Hi,
just gonna
Lloyd.
jump in.
Hey, like,
hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Early
Nice to meet you. Can you
20s.
guys hear me well?
Yeah. So early
Okay,
20s
cool.
you said. So did you kind of like your parents were like, "Okay, you're in the driver's seat now. This is your career. This is your choice." And interestingly enough, like this is like a dual question. So like when you were younger, they made the choice for you and then you were kind of like you guys were doing it together and then you took over your career or were they still a part of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved out pretty young. I was somewhere between 18 19 when I moved out, and I was working full time and then doing acting part time. And I saw at that time it was like 2009, 2010.
Okay.
So that was when we were getting more of an online voice acting. What would you
Yeah.
say? Voice acting like
Presence or
community presence, yeah,
yeah.
presence, and so we had the casting sites, and I was looking at stuff, and I was like, oh, I think you can do this from home, and I think I can do
Yeah.
this part time while I'm working the day
Right.
job. So I was doing that. I was hustling. I was still, just kind of picking up anything. Was recording out of a closet in my apartment, and as soon as that started, and I'm socking away a bunch of money during this time too. And as soon as my voice acting income was like getting comparable to the day job, um, quit that and just went full time into voice acting, and
Wow.
then was hustling,
Yeah.
still really hard for a few years, and then so yeah, like overnight success for only took 30 years, but so about a couple of years ago was when I was finally like feeling like okay, I feel like I'm like established, I'm solid, and I can kind of take a breather now.
How many years was that though? Do you think it took you before you and well from going from day job, full time to part time voiceover to flip flopping to full time voiceover and
Yeah.
phasing out the day job.
So that was 2009 to late 2016, early 2017.
Okay, so it took a while. I
Yeah.
think people like have that misunderstanding or like they have
mm,
like that they think it's just gonna happen so quickly and it's not.
Oh, definitely. And I think it's tough when you see those exceptions happen right now, especially
Mm-hmm.
like we'll see
mm,
like TikTok and Instagram, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
And these people will be like, yeah, I just posted one day and then like an agent reached out to me and now I'm like have 12,000 million gajillion followers and I'm like, working at Crunchyroll really consistently. I don't know. And I think that's always like, because it can happen. There's a component of luck, right place, right time, right person sees you. That
mm.
that is the exception to the rule, though. That doesn't happen for most of us. Most of us
No.
Yeah.
are
No.
grinding for a really long time, for years, if not decades.
Oh my
As
gosh.
soon as you said
Yeah.
2009 to like 2016, I was like, oh, you're telling me I still got 4 more years of hating my job? Ah.
Okay, how
They
how far
know they know I can't stay at my job.
how how
We've
far how far into it are you? Like when did you start? And
I think professionally I started 2023, but like we have known each other probably like 2 years before I had started. Like I got my demo and actually started auditioning and what have it,
yeah.
you know. So
2020 end of 2020 like 2021 when we all kind of started
yeah,
training
Mhm.
and trying to professionally train and get coaching and then within like a year and a half into 2022 2023 I think we all ended up with our demos So
Oh,
we've been
wow.
out there in the wild for a little bit. We're still kind of like considered,
We're
under,
still babies.
yeah, under 5 years, so we're
Oh,
still like
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
grind.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you're fresh into that hustle then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't miss it. I'm sorry.
Well, it's,
And you know what? That's okay. Good for you.
I mean, and
I feel for you.
it's a
Hey, you
tough,
did the
it's,
work and you are where you are.
yeah. And also
Yeah.
too, I think you kind of were in that sweet spot too, where you had started, I have friends that got in right at like 2016 to 2018,
Yeah.
where it was kind of like, I feel like at the tail end of like the golden era. And then all of a sudden, like
Yeah.
right into 2020, it was like a boom, like an explosion of voice actors just, it was like, and I think it's just a lot tougher on any
Oh, yeah.
which way you try to get into voiceover. I'm not saying that it's not doable because I'm sure you coach, so you probably have fresh voice actors coming in all the time,
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
It's totally different than how it was, and I think that is really the case for any industry and including all of entertainment too, where
Yeah.
how you got in 5 years ago, 10 years ago, however many decades ago, it's not going to be the same. And I
Yeah,
think we've seen that throughout film and television and entertainment history. There's
sure.
evolution and things are different all the time. And yeah, like people will ask me like, well, how did you get in? I want to do that. And I'm like, you can't do that anymore. It
Yeah,
doesn't exist. It
no.
doesn't exist. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I hate to say. So what I tell people now, if you want to get into it, I'm like, you need to plan on being a content creator, in my opinion. And you're
Okay.
going to hear different things from different people like
Okay.
always everybody's going to have a different perspective on this depending on where they land in the industry, but I personally think if you want to be competitive these days, like you need to plan on being a content creator and having an audience that you can bring to whatever it is you're doing the voice acting for.
Okay. That's so interesting. Go ahead, Lloyd. I know you wanted to jump in there.
So there's two things. The first thing is I literally just left an anime industry mixer with somebody from Shonen Jump, whole thing, and they were talking about how like when they want to work with people, a lot of the times like they're not just working with anybody who just started making content. It's like somebody who's been they've been putting stuff out for a while. Like they have like an established body of work. My question for you is what brought you to the conclusion that that's what you needed to do?
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I kind of saw the writing on the wall back in 2016 because that was when we already were hearing AI voices and people were talking about AI voice acting and everything. And I was like, oh, what? So,
Hmm.
okay, so what do I do to combat that? And I graduated high school in 2009. So that was right when Facebook was getting popular, like, and it was getting kind of more known, in the
Mm-hmm.
zeitgeist. And I was seeing how people were using it. I was, so I kind of came up right in a good spot with social media,
Mm-hmm.
as far as like, being like 18 and like, you know, having money, being independent, being an adult, but then like also getting to see how social media was working. So I was just kind of putting all those pieces together. And I was like, okay, I think what's going to happen is you have to be famous to get cast for stuff. It's not going to be the other way around where somebody sees your potential and they want to foster that. Like you
Mm.
already have to be an entity of your own and like basically have some kind of like business on your
Mm-hmm.
side, so it's like an
Mm-hmm.
all-inclusive kind of thing. Like what can you give the client that other people are not going to be able to, or what's going to make things like really easy for them, so it's like all
Mm-hmm.
inclusive. So that was the plan back then when I was going full time. I
Hmm.
was like, okay, I have to figure out how to make myself very desirable right off the jump, like, oh, we know who that is, we really like her, she's cool, she's fun, we people, if we use her voice, people are going to recognize it and they'll be like, oh, that's the lady from the thing. So it's like you have to figure out how to be the lady from the thing in voice acting in general. And in my opinion, again, like you're going to hear different things from different people, and it's such a big industry too.
Yeah.
Like anime and dubbing is its own specialized
Yeah.
thing, subgenre in voice acting. So I think that's also important to keep in mind. This is, coming from my perspective where I
Totally.
work in the industry, but like overall, I think it's a pretty common theme.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
think that's so cool. I mean, I feel like content creation is not, it looks easy, but it's not. I mean, I
No.
feel like it's you really have to, and you have to have a pretty specific direction, I feel like that and then it might spin off into other directions because you've got a bunch of different kinds of content that you put out, which I think is interesting. We can talk about that. But I mean, I've tried it and it's tough, like, and my middle was like, Mom, can you just not? Because my friends, like, they actually found you on TikTok and now you're the TikTok mom. And I'm like, no, no, I'm not. But anyway, so I mean, like, and Lloyd's been doing, he's on his own, like, little journey.
Yeah.
He's on his journey.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll just leave
I
it at
have
that.
to.
Oh, okay.
No,
No
it
more.
is. I no, I'm constantly stopping myself from being like, I'm gonna make 100 TikToks in a day because I've done that before,
A
and
lot.
I don't have the bandwidth or capacity to do that with everything else that I'm doing. So
Yeah.
at this point, I'm like barely making videos at all. And
Yeah.
It's
sometimes I'm
hard.
like, what if I just send
Yeah.
it?
No, it is. It's a lot. And I mean, I worked up to the point that I'm at too. This wasn't like that conversation I had with myself in 2016, 2017. I was not like, okay, that's it. And then it works and we're great and everything's fine and my life is balanced and I'm not burned out. Like that was not what happened at all. There's been a lot of
Mhm.
trial and error. And at this point in time,
Sorry.
it's been like 10 years. So a decade later, now I have assistants, I have editors, I have management, but it took a decade, to
Wow.
get to that point. So in the
Right.
beginning, it was very much like, oh my gosh, how do I balance all of this and figure out how to do all of the things? And I think something that's really helpful to keep in mind is like whatever makes sense to you and whatever's working for you, do that. Like that's the
Hmm.
thing I can't tell people enough is it's like I'm giving you because so many people ask me they're like well what do you do, what do you think, and I'm like this has been my experience, so this is my perspective. But if you're seeing something that makes sense to you, and it's working, do that, because it's going to be your perspective and it's going to be your career and the things that you're noticing.
That's like a really
Yeah.
interesting point because I feel like all too often we like put these like, I don't know, like you have to do this or you have to do that. Or, I kind of started off in voiceover too, like thinking, oh, I have to do it this way or I have to do this or that to do this. And now I'm like, no, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
This is what works for me and this is what I'm gonna do. And it might not work for you or you or you, but it's gonna work for me, you know?
Yeah, there's
Mm.
some stuff where it's like if you want to do something in particular, there is like kind of a path to go about doing it. So
Sure.
I do always tell people that, like with traditional agency work and demos and agents and everything, there's generally kind of like a step by step that you want to follow to do that. But I think just with the way everything is nowadays and everything we're seeing, it is really about like figure it out, like figure something out, see an opportunity
Yeah.
and go for it.
Okay, so you do a lot of different kind of sketches, which I think I was like so funny. Like you have a bunch of different like characters, like, and they're
Yeah, they're amazing.
authentically real. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like great. It's so funny. Inferno Inc. I'm like, uh-oh, is this
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
That's the passion project. That's the series. Yeah.
so funny. And then what was the one series that you retired? Like was it is it your favorite TV show says a lot about you or was it
Yeah.
and you were the Aunt Tawny and then
Yeah.
you got a little bit of pushback from that? Because I think
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Thank you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what your favorite says about you is based on when I did drag. Like we would read each other to filth. And if you're not familiar with drag, that's like when you're easy way to sum it up is like you tease each other and it's all done in love. Um, so it was, yeah, what your favorite says about you. And it was all stuff that like I watched, which is why I could talk about it. And
Right.
which I thought was very obvious. Like I know so much
Yeah.
about it and give so much detail. It's like, well, she's clearly watching it. She likes it. Um, but yeah, I ended up retiring the series after I think it's been like 3 years, 4 years
Wow.
maybe. It's been a while,
Mm.
but I think that it was hitting a lot of people's feeds that didn't get it. And I think that
Oh.
with the current
Mm.
climate that we are living in right now, it's really hard to tell if somebody's joking, myself included. There over the years, I'm just like, oh, that person's clearly being sarcastic and hyperbolic.
Yeah.
That it's funny because they don't believe that. And then, you come to find out, oh, wow, they're a terrible person. I thought they were joking because nobody would
Oh,
ever say something like that.
right.
And I
Right.
think that just like as the absurdity of the reality that we're living in continues down that
Mm.
path, it's maybe just not the right time for that kind of humor and that kind of I hate to call it art, but because it sounds
Yeah.
so pretentious, but like that kind of performance piece. I get that sounds
Yeah.
pretentious too. That kind of
No.
stuff.
I think what Lloyd would say is everything is performative, right? Is that what you're gonna
That's
say?
true.
Everything is performative, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there's any like I don't think it sounds pretentious, and maybe
Mm-mm.
that's because I'm the type of person who wax poetics a lot. But like, art is art,
Yeah.
Mm.
it's. I would consider it art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put your time into it, and you're making people feel feelings, and you're expressing your ideas.
Yeah.
You know.
I appreciate that. I'm always a little hesitant, like as somebody who has like a background in comedy, because it's just you know what I mean, like calling
Yeah.
comedy art and just being like my dick joke is art. Like it just sounds so. You're like, come
Well,
on.
even that I would say is art, but then I would question what it says about the person telling that
Right?
joke.
Yeah.
Was it a good dick joke?
Yeah.
You know?
That's
I'm sorry, I
funny.
didn't even ask. Can I say that on this
Oh,
podcast? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. I think we always say swearing happens, drinks are
Oh, you
welcome.
did say that. You did say that.
Neither are like
That's
required for
right.
the conversation. Yeah. So,
You did say that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but one thing that struck me when I was kind of going through some of your pieces is you talked about the different. I love that you're able to literally zone in on tones and like just pick
Mm.
apart everything. So like the most recent one was obviously the Devil Wears Prada. I mean, there's the newest, sequel to that movie. And you picked apart one of like the most famous like scenes with Anne. And it's just like, wow, like and then you also did a posting where you talked about like the 10 different tones that are, that most voice actors should either have in their tool belt or have an
Yeah.
understanding. Like, hi, can I hire you? Can we sit down and like talk about like how I can find my 10 different tones? Because I feel like that's the hardest part, is knowing, what to each project to approach and going, okay, yep, this is the tone that I need to bring to the table.
I think a lot of that has to do with just being somebody who this is my special interest. This is like the thing I've been doing for so many decades. So
Mm.
it's also a little obsessive too, where it's like I'm
Superpower. Superpower. It's a
that's
superpower.
Superpower.
that's nice. But I'm one of those weirdos. Like I watch the commercials. I always have watched the commercials. I like the tones of commercials. Like as a little kid, like I would hear them and I'd repeat them, So
Mhm.
it would be anything. So it's like, Swiffer wet jet mop, and like they would say that, I'd say it. I would just be like, I don't know if you guys are in the right age range for this, but there was something called like a yak back in the 90s where it's like you would
Yeah.
record your voice on your voice on this little thing and it
Yes.
Yeah.
would talk back to you. I was like a human yak back. Like I was just repeating everything that I was hearing, like side effects may include. So you start to like notice those patterns when you do that. And that never went away. Like when I watch stuff, I don't skip the commercials. I watch the commercials because I'm listening to them. And you notice when you're voice acting the specs on the script and the people that you hear who get hired for those in the actual
Mm.
commercial. So you start to make those connections. So, when somebody's looking for a warm voice in um, a Pillsbury ad about the
Right.
holidays, and then you see that ad, you're like, okay, that's what warm means. That's what they
Yeah.
were looking for. And bright. What does bright mean? Oh, even like before you hear the commercial, you just know the commercial. Like you'll see the department store and they want a bright read, and
Right.
everybody talks like this. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Like a
And you're like,
Macy's ad.
Macy's. I was gonna, yeah, Macy's.
Yeah.
And you see that in there, so it's like Kohl's, Macy's, or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
like one day
Goals.
only, and you're like, okay, I've seen this commercial before. I know what they want. Like that's
Yeah.
what bright must mean then.
Yeah.
And and we learn that in class too. Like they
Yeah,
go
sure.
through like what that
Mhm.
means in script interpretation and delivery, and so that was I think it's just so many years of that. So being able to like make those connections and then
Yeah.
again being in a position where I'm seeing those scripts and then I can see the finished product, like the detached voice for Poppy. Like when I saw that script in the Super Bowl ad, when I saw that script and then when I heard what they were looking for afterwards when I saw the commercial, I was like, oh. Like
Oh.
that's a change. Okay, so we're going from conversational to that. And it's been such a controversial tone anyway, like in voice acting. It's so funny to hear everybody talk about it because they're like, it's just a flat read. Like, what are we even
Yeah.
here for? Like,
Right.
anybody could do that. So that's been really interesting to see too. There's been a lot of evolution of that throughout the years.
It's funny that you said that because I auditioned for like a Blue Cross Blue Shield or some sort of
Yeah.
insurance company, and they're like it's always conversational, relaxed, friendly, like you're the, next door friend or whatever. And then I did that. I did relaxed and I did conversational and I gave them two takes and got feedback from the client saying, this was really good. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Well, I didn't get hired, but then I heard the commercial on the radio and I was like, that is not conversational. That is not relaxed. That is literally, you literally took a Macy's read or a Kohl's read or a grocery store read and you insert it into an insurance read that is not warm and conversational relaxed. Like I was
Yeah.
so frustrated.
And typically what happens with that is somewhere in between when they spoke with you and then when that product was finished, they went in a different direction.
I know.
And that's always what I tell people too, is I'm just like, that's why you have to submit and forget, is because there's so many steps in between,
Yes.
like that audition and then what comes out. It's like, oh, okay. Like you can't ever like get too hung up on that kind of stuff unless there's like a big pattern that you're noticing for a long time, in my opinion. Because I just being in the back room of that too, like on the back end of things, like seeing as somebody who does help with casting and helps with like the production side quite often with a lot of these clients, they change their mind all the time.
I'm sure.
So often it's not you. It's like it's not you, it's me. Like that. It's actually true though.
Yeah.
In a lot of those scenarios, they for whatever reason they just go a different direction. It has nothing to do with your skills or anything.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Go ahead,
I have
Gabby.
yeah. I also want to say that I love your series on accents.
On
Oh,
accents.
yeah.
Yeah. Like a Midwestern and then like a Southern ball and
Oh, thank you.
You featured a couple of those in your characters in the Inferno Inc. too. So you had like the Southern
Yeah.
lady and then you had like the Midwestern, like maybe she was more from like Minnesota, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
she,
yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean, that's hard to do, I mean, like, how did you perfect that? I mean, probably,
Oh, because they're not perfect is like the most thing. They're caricatures. Like if I actually got cast to do something like that, it would be offensive.
yeah,
Like in something that was supposed to sound realistic and like a drama or something.
yeah,
Those are very much caricatures, and like I know enough about those accents to hear where I'm doing it incorrectly too. Those are not spot on. Like we always know somebody who does talk like that, but
yeah.
it is somebody who's the exception to that. Like most people in
Mm.
Minnesota do not talk like that character. I kind of liken it to like Family Guy,
Yeah.
where like Lois, like there are absolutely women who do sound like Lois in this world, but most people in New England aren't walking around talking like this. Like they don't. Most people don't sound like that. They sound like that, very turned down.
Yeah.
So it's
Mm.
very much like supposed to be
And
cartoonish.
humorous, yeah. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
humorous, yeah. Yeah. So what would you say would be like your if something was living for rent free in your brain in terms of like a project that you worked on? Is there like something that you just kind of like always stays in your brain where you're like, oh, that was just like the best. I had a great experience, A to Z, that you worked on, it could be previously,
Yeah.
when you were younger or now currently.
Yeah, that's a good question. Something I worked on recently, I'm in the follow-up to the Symphony of War video game. It's like kind of like a cult classic, and they're coming out with a sequel, and it was such a collaborative experience.
Mm.
And that's what I loved about it, because I think so often in what we do, they just give us the direction and it's kind of like, do the trick, monkey, and like you do the
Mm-hmm.
trick
Hmm.
and then it's like, okay, thank you, goodbye. Which is fine, like that's part of why we're hired, is because we can do the thing really
Yeah.
fast and like we know what they're talking about and we're very easy to work with, and.
Yeah.
But this was really cool because it was just such a collaborative, artistic
Mm.
experience. Like, so getting to work with the creator and like really flesh out that character and have her go through different iterations and talk about her experience and like her motivations and like why she is how would she be talking in this situation, how would she react, and making sure that was consistent. Like anytime I get to do something that's not corporate or commercial and is like really artistic like that is really cool. And the other one is when I got to do the audiobook for Marion, with Macmillan. that was super cool because the same reason, like it was working with the director on that project was something that like really took me back to like the theater days where it was like, let's like really dive into this character and what they're feeling and their motivations and like do that, like let's explore it. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is what I love about this. This is what I like doing this. And so often we have to make a living, so we're doing
Yeah.
the corporate and the commercial stuff, which isn't to say
Hmm.
we don't enjoy it, we're not grateful for it, but
Yeah.
there's not as much character work in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
getting to do that, like, and being able to do that more and more and more in my career and kind of shifting over into that, I wish I could give more answers because there's stuff that I'm under NDA and it's like
Uh,
these big animation projects that like take years. So like I wish I could
Mm.
talk more about it, but it's been so cool to be able to like start to transition more over into that kind of work.
do
That's
you,
cool.
yeah, that is cool. Do you enjoy doing the long form? I mean, it sounds like you do. I mean, because I feel like sometimes, yeah.
Oh, I hate it. It's the worst.
It's a lot of work. People don't realize how much blood, sweat, and tears goes into like the long form, and it's not a lot of pay. But like you said, there's a passion behind it because you get to like flush out those cool characters. Yeah.
Or are you gonna say, Lloyd?
Oh, anytime I think about audiobooks, I'm like, man, I would really love to do an audiobook, but the first time I ever did an audiobook, they know was just
Exactly.
every single day I would send like a summary of things that frustrated me to our group chat about this audiobook.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I definitely did not quote them enough for what they're asking me to
Yeah.
do.
I'm so glad you said that because there's so often people like they just see per finished hour and they don't realize if you're good, if you're fast, if you are experienced, you are the top of your game, it's going to take
Mhm.
you 6 hours to produce that finished hour. So
Yeah.
that means a lot of people, if this is, kind of your first venture into audiobooks, like you're probably looking at 8, 10, 12 more, and
Yeah.
then we're not necessarily having audio editors, or
Right.
anything at that
Like
point
Yeah.
ourselves.
either. Not
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody. The only reason I did Marion was because I was like, this is a really cool book. Like I got the audition and I really connected with the character and I was like, oh my gosh, I
That's
love
cool.
this. And then they were like, you will have a director who is going to be punching and rolling for you and directing you. You don't have to do. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
that
that is
Oh.
sounds so nice.
luxurious.
Oh man, if
Wow.
only.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I was like, okay, I will do it like I will do this with audiobooks moving forward, but yeah, it's a lot. And even then and Macmillan's wonderful. Like I love working with Macmillan. They're amazing, but like even then just with my particular personality type, it's like I'm very picky about the audiobooks I'll take because it, it is it is exhausting. It's
Yeah.
so much work. And then it is tough, like with the pay rate too. And I look at that where I'm like, okay, that was, 20 hours of work or whatever. And it's like, I just made that in
Yeah.
5 minutes on a
Right.
commercial that I just like, they were like, yeah,
Right.
great. Sounds good. Cool. And then
Yeah.
they Venmo me and I'm like, this is hard to justify.
Yeah.
But so it's got to be something really, really cool for me to take the audiobook. Like I do have to be very artistically fulfilled to do it at this point.
That's a really good point, though. I mean, it's good to be like picky, or it's good to have boundaries. It's good to know like what you will do and what you won't do for what amount of time, because time is money, money is time, like
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and also, yeah, and like you said, there's preparation, and then there's so much more behind the scenes before you just even jump on the mic and crack the mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So
And I think it's
yeah,
funny because it literally is like I could send an audition to somebody and they take the read just as the finished thing and put that out there. And then I just go read the book for myself and I have any work associated with it and call it good.
yep.
Like that,
yeah,
it- yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Tawny, did you ever think about, do you do on camera still now, or are you mostly like a voice actor, like just
Yeah.
working in the audio landscape of like acting?
Yeah, right now it's mostly audio. I do a podcast, which
Yeah.
I'm so old that it's like it's to me I still like it's so weird for podcasts to be a visual medium. at
Oh,
this point because I always want to say
yeah.
like, yeah, I do a YouTube series, but everybody's like, it's a podcast, and I'm like, no, that's for audio. But I'm like, I don't want to be that old woman that's like, back in my day. So like, it's a podcast, but it's like, so it's on camera. So I'm doing that, but it's not as character driven. I'm
Yeah.
hosting, and then the stuff on which I think we're moving more in that direction anyway. The stuff
Hmm.
that I'm producing that is the vertical content and doing that with other people and getting slated for that. But so that is like on camera work, but it
Yeah.
is not the traditional Hollywood on camera work. But like I said, I really kind of foresee us moving more in that direction just as time goes on.
Yeah. Do
I
you
have to
go ahead, you go ahead, Lloyd.
I have to ask about verticals just as an on-camera person. I feel like every conversation I've had with someone about verticals in the past 3 or 4 months, people who have like done on-camera work, it's always, well, the quality is not that great, but the pay is good. And I feel very weird about that because I feel like it's not hard for the quality to be great,
Right.
but you don't see a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like what are your thoughts on being involved? Like, do you feel like the stuff that you're doing is more, see, I feel like I'm putting you on the spot with this
No,
question.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you feel like the stuff that you're doing is more
Quality?
like there's more quality than you see by and large right now?
For the most part, yeah. Like I think like I use vertical too. I know what people are talking about when they say verticals. And when I mean vertical, I just mean that shape, you know.
Okay.
So that includes
Content.
hmm So that includes like
Okay.
Buddy Bistro too. Like if you're familiar
Oh,
with that, where you have that one guy who's playing a bunch of different parts and it takes place in a restaurant and he's playing men and he's
okay.
playing women. I would consider so that, and that's like a series that he releases. I think he puts out a new episode
Right.
at almost every day, and
Mm.
it is well made. It looks good, and it is it's one guy performing every role, and it's him and his wife, and his wife, I think, and they're writing the scripts. They have the green screen and they're producing that stuff, and it is good. It's so good. We see Julian. I've never actually heard his last name pronounced. Sewell, Julian Sewell. Sewell. Um, but he did that '80s vertical series where there wasn't any talking. It was all text over the screen, and he was
Hmm.
playing all these different characters. He kept his beard when he was playing the women, but had like the wigs, had the makeup, had like other people start coming in, and it was like this '80s soap opera, and it had like the '80s music behind it. And I think he stepped back from
That's
it a
funny.
little bit, but oh my gosh, I was so sad. It was funny, it was good, it was like interesting,
Yeah.
and I see that happening more. I see us going that direction more because it's like it's so accessible for so many people to be able to tell
Right.
stories in that way. You know, you can get like if you have some friends that are all interested in that and you're all willing to get together, you can produce a series very consistently.
Yeah.
And so when I say verticals, like I mean that in a very broad sense. The
Yeah.
ones that you're
Okay.
talking about, it's a specific genre, I think, of vertical, and
Right.
I think
Right.
it's gonna develop more
Yeah.
as time goes on, and we're gonna have that. And it's just like the way that we have traditionally watched entertainment, where you kind of have a little something for everybody, and some of us might not watch some stuff, but it's very, very popular among a certain,
Group of people.
type.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and we might kind of like look down at it, but it does great.
Right. Right.
It's
Mm.
amazing. People are hooked on it. And then you have stuff that is like more pretentious and artsy, and there's like a little subset that like is really into that. And then a lot of people are like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So and then you have the stuff that's kind of like everybody really enjoys it. And I think that that is going to translate over into verticals, and we're in a building stage
Yeah.
for that.
There is a comedian, and I can't, his name is totally like slipping my mind. I was like gonna go look for it, but I'm not going to. I'm not gonna waste my time right now looking for it. But and he does the same thing. He's like acts as if he's God, and then he has like all the different years, and each year is a character. Or he'll do like he has different characters. So one's a millennial, one's a boomer, one's an Xer,
Oh,
one's a Y.
yes.
You know him? He's famous. He's like I
Yes.
think
Yes. Yes.
he
Yes.
I think
Yes.
I
I
can't
don't remember
remember
his name either.
Michael.
I don't
Anyways,
remember his name.
I
No,
think
he's brilliant, but he
so
does like
Yeah.
the whole
brilliant.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He dresses up as each generation and they're talking about
Yes.
something, and the
Yeah.
millennials always like drinking and like
Yeah.
Yes.
oh no, that's a great example. It's like kind of an ongoing series, and um we see that also. There's another comedian like that too, where he has, it looks like a reality show, and he's parodying the Kardashians when
Oh
he does
yeah,
it.
yeah. There's a
Yeah.
girl that does that too. Yeah, where there's that
Oh
I
yes,
follow.
her name starts with a Y.
Yes.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she's genius. Same
Yep.
thing. She does a parody of the Kardashians. Like, and it's very common and it's very successful, and we're seeing it more and more. And I think that we're in the beginning stages of that. We're in the ground floor of it, and I think as voice actors too, that gives you a lot of opportunity to like kind of create some kind of series around that. You know, like
Yes.
you can do something as long as you're showcasing your voice.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
interesting. That's just a lot of work though. I mean, like that's a lot of
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
There's costumes,
sure.
there's planning, there's script work,
Yeah.
there's
It
camera
can
work.
be. It
Yeah,
can be. I think that you can take that as far as you want to, and
sure.
you
Yeah,
can make it like that. And I
yeah.
think that you could also do something that
Simple.
is much more simple, and it's like showcasing that,
Yeah.
and it can be something
Mm.
that's a lot easier. Like I go the full spectrum. I have stuff that's like very time consuming to produce, and I have stuff that's much faster to produce. And I think it is really about kind of finding like something that inspires you, having an idea, and it's like, okay, what can I do to showcase my talents and my skills? And then I think collaboration right now is
Mm-hmm.
so important too, like reaching out to other people where it's like, okay, I do need somebody who can edit or somebody who can shoot or help me script write or something like that, who's
Mm-hmm.
another creative, and reaching out to them and doing a revenue share
Mm-hmm.
together as well. Like I think the revenue share model is
Mm.
getting so much more popular. I keep seeing that with a lot of really successful creatives is that they're doing a revenue share
Hmm.
model.
Well, that's interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, there's some content creators that my kids watch and they put it on the YouTube, on the TV, in the living room. And I'm like, why are they yelling? They're literally yelling. You're screaming at the top of their lungs. What are they yelling about? They're yelling about watching other people yelling, playing a video game or like a TV show. So there's like all different kinds of subgenres of like what you're talking
Yeah.
about, the vertical social media content, which is different than the verticals I think Lloyd was referring to, which is
Yeah,
more
yeah,
like
most
the film
definitely.
and TV
Yeah.
verticals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, wow, that's so interesting. I wish I was that interesting. Like I automatically am like, I don't know if I'm that interesting. Like I don't know. I mean, maybe being not interesting is like interesting. Who knows? I'll have to find a shtick. Go ahead,
Well,
Lloyd.
and again, I
I
think part of it too is also like doing what works for you. If you're
Yeah.
doing something that's working for you and it has nothing to do with social media, keep doing it.
Yeah.
If
Mm.
you're inspired, if like you see that path like as being something that you could pursue,
Sure.
go for it. It just that's what really I think matters at the end of the day is like do
Yes.
you see a path forward for you?
Yes. Yeah. Go
Mm.
ahead, Lloyd. You're gonna say something.
I was just gonna say everybody's interesting.
Okay.
Everybody's interesting to some
That's true.
demographic of people,
That's true.
Okay.
and everybody identifies with other people's experiences in a way that would make them want to consume the content they create.
Yes, exactly. And there's also people like me, I would say, okay, so maybe I don't want to be necessarily forward facing in terms of creating content. I mean, but I am podcasting, so that's like this is
Right.
interesting and it's a passion project and and I've been doing this for 5 years and I love it, audio, video. And then also like I also like helping other women edit and produce their podcast audio, mostly not video. So, but I mean, like you said, everybody has something. Thank you, Lloyd. You're right. The voice of reason is spoken. So how did you come up with the idea of like making friendship bracelets and then bringing on other actors? Because I mean, I'm a big fan of that because like this is how we created the Meet Your Actor series because it's like I love talking to other actors, other content creators, other, creatives, because it's fun, it's collaborative and we're all kind of doing this together. So is that kind of like the basis of where you created the let's make friendship bracelets and talk about whatever we want to talk about? Because I think that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I wanted to create something where it gave people the opportunity to talk about something that they wanted to talk about that maybe they didn't always get to, like as we do a lot of like press junkets and advertising, podcasty kind of stuff
Yeah.
where we get asked like the same or panels, conventions, we get asked the same like 5 questions like every time, which makes sense too in the context of what a lot
Yeah.
of us do and is understandable. But I did want to give people that space to like talk about like I'm like what is it that you're like, God, I wish people would ask me about this more. I wish I could talk about this more. And just giving them a platform to do that. And then I think that when you have an activity, a lot of times it's easier to relax and talk to
Mm,
people because so often we're like, what do I do with my hands? Or like, we fidget and everything. So if like you have a task, it takes that away. Like, oh,
sure.
I'm doing something. And then, yeah, just like the being able to bring funds to organizations that needed them, with the connections to the people that I have, because everybody I invite on is people that I'm friends with or friendly with. We all
Yeah.
follow each other on social media, so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'll just invite somebody that like we already like each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's gonna be pretty. We don't have to be weird and have icebreakers. It's gonna be a pretty easy like hang.
Yeah.
Have them come on, and then they're cool. They have people that think they're cool, so they'll want to buy bracelets from them, and then we can put that money towards an organization that they're really passionate about and
Yeah.
something that they want to get the word out about too.
I like that a lot. Like, I think that's like really cool. It's like paying it forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. That's very cool. Go ahead,
Question.
Gabby.
What is something that you wish people would ask you more? Talking
Mm.
about that. Because I mean, you
Speaking
can't
of,
really answer that on your own. I mean, you could, but
Oh
you're the
yeah.
host.
yeah, there's a lot of my guests that they want to ask me questions, and I always feel like super awkward about it because I'm like, I'm trying to give you this space, and they're just like, I'm just so curious about what you do. um, that I wish people asked me more. I I I don't know. It's so weird because I don't think I'm glad you asked me that because I have to think about it.
How about well, you're kind of like scratching your arm and I mean, I'm curious about your tattoos. Like, how did you
Okay.
start
Yeah, they're
getting like,
awesome.
yeah, like I'm starting a
Thanks.
half sleeve and you started
Oh, really?
from the yes, you started from the top. Like I've started it from the bottom up, so I'm going
Oh,
up.
that's
But like
awesome.
you
What do
started,
you have?
I mean, You're asking me. You're turning the tables. Butterflies and
I'm
butter.
so glad Gabriella asked me this. I think this is, I'm like, oh no, maybe this is my passion is
Mm.
tattoos. I want to talk about tattoos.
Well, no, I mean, like, how did you when did you get your first tattoo and like
Yeah.
what motivated you to do that?
I got my first one when I was like 20, 21, somewhere in there, but
Yeah,
it's this right here, and it's this geometric design
very cool.
that I was like drawing a lot in high school, and I got that one, and then my next tattoo was a sleeve.
Yeah.
So I always tell
Wow.
people, yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, this is for me. um,
Mm.
and this is all Studio Ghibli artwork.
Oh, very cool.
I love
Yeah,
that.
so
Yeah,
thanks. I got
that's so cool.
I don't know if you can see it. Hypermobility here coming in clutch. I have Ponyo right here. Like you can see her little orange head. And then I
Oh
have
man.
No Face.
No
And then it goes,
face.
yeah. And then it goes down to Howl's Moving Castle
Oh,
right there. I got
wow.
Oh man.
You
Totoro
guys are
down there. Got
you
the
guys are so funny.
all the different stuff. But
That
I
is so cool.
saw
I love that.
Ponyo.
Yeah.
Thanks. Ponyo was one of the movies that made me really want to like get serious about voice acting because it came
Mm.
out when
Mm.
it came out when I was in my late teens, and it was one of those ones that just it was like that was kind of a turning point for me. Like I was voice acting, I was, acting and doing all this stuff, but I watched it and I was Miyazaki's one of those brand, I don't know what you would call it, like those Miyazaki movies have really good dubs, and
Hmm.
Yeah.
historically speaking, dubbing can go either or, like you never really know what you're getting into, and because I don't want to talk trash about my fellow voice actors or anything like that. There are some
Yeah.
there's amazing dubs out
Yeah.
there, and it is only
Mm.
getting better as time goes on, but we were very much, when I was watching this stuff in my younger years, it was a Wild West newer industry. So,
Yeah.
you were never kind of quite sure what you were getting into. And at that time, Miyazaki was one of those ones where it was like every single movie, if you were watching the dub, because that was a lot of what was available at the time too, was dubbing. It was good. It was
Yeah.
so good. And Hanya was that one where I was just like, it gave me goosebumps, that whole
Mm.
movie, everything about it. I was like, oh my God. Like, and so much of the artistry was from the voice acting in it. And a lot, and it just like with the visual artistic animation side of it, with that voice acting combined, it created this just complete story, and I loved it so much, and I was just like, I need to be a part of that in any way that I can. And
Wow.
so yeah, it's one of those films are those types of films that always like really make me feel,
Yeah. Yeah.
like it's you watch those and it's full body goosebumps. You're misty eyed during the whole thing. You have the chest feels like the swelling in the chest, and
Yeah.
I get stuff on my body where I'm like, I know this is going to be a very consistent thing that I am going to love forever. Like I always really sit on my tattoos for a really long time. And this
Hmm.
is one of those ones I'm like, no matter what, these movies are always going to be things that are so meaningful to me and were such an impact on me and are so gorgeous and like such a beautiful part of the life experience. One of my favorite parts of life was getting to watch these films and feel that
Right.
way,
That's
and
cool.
be able to know I can feel that way about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's, I mean,
I
go ahead. Go ahead, Lloyd.
one, I'm not at home, so I apologize for the
No, you're
extra
okay. You're
noises.
fine. You're good.
But two, I just want to say you just made me realize because I don't have any tattoos, and I've always been the type of person who's like, I will never get a tattoo unless it means the world to me.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is I love you sharing why Ponyo specifically, but Miyazaki movies are special to you because I realized just now, my sisters, I'm the oldest of seven, and my sisters are between different states. Ponyo is the only movie I have ever seen in theaters with all three of my sisters.
Aw.
Oh,
That's
that's so
crazy. And
sweet.
yeah. And one of my sisters used to like it would be this whole thing where she would not greet me normally. She would run into a room and yell, Ponyo! And she would get so mad at me. Or she would say Sosuke, and she would get so mad at me if I didn't yell back Ponyo.
Ponyo loves Sasuke.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh
That's
man, that's
so cute.
great.
Aw.
Oh, I
Oh
love that.
man.
That's cute. Thank you for
Maybe
sharing
that's
that.
in the tattoo
Yeah.
bank of
Maybe.
possibilities now.
Maybe.
Might be the one.
It might be. Well, I feel like we're rounding down the conversation. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So we always do like a fun like question at the end and or like closer to the end, and then like and then we'll ask you your final question. But for the fun question, it's a round table and we all get to answer it. So you can just pick any number you want to. It's like one to like it goes all the way just into the hundreds. So you can pick any
Okay.
number you want. Tawny gets to pick it.
43.
Okay, I gotta back it up.
Mm.
I was way into the hundreds. Let's see. Hold on.
You keep going so high that people pick low.
I know. Hey, but this is a good one. This is a good one. Which Mario Kart character are you?
Oh, jeez.
That kind of goes with like, the newest Mario movie just came out in the movie theaters and like
That's true.
I actually okay, Gabby, I can see that. You want to go first because I can see you're just
Yoshi. I didn't pick him.
I'm gonna go with
So cute.
Princess Peach. Yeah. I don't know. Tawny, do you have one?
Oh, I wish I know Mario, but I don't like know Mario, to be totally honest. Okay, I have one. I saw the movie. The little ghost that's like, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
man.
funny. All
Yeah.
right,
I
that's
feel
a
bad
good
because I
one.
wanted to say Yoshi and then Gabby said Yoshi.
Sorry.
You can still
You can
choose
still say
Yoshi.
it.
Yeah.
Is Diddy Kong in the new Mario Kart games?
Oh, is it
Maybe
the
Diddy
game?
Kong.
No,
Yeah.
I was talking
Well,
about the
well, I just
movie. I mean,
Okay.
okay.
or whatever. You can do the
I
game,
just
whatever.
well, just the games have a more expensive cast. I don't
Okay,
know.
fine. All right. Well,
I,
Voice of Reason is back again. All right, go ahead.
oh my gosh. No, it would probably be Yoshi or Diddy Kong, but if I say Diddy Kong, then my brain goes, well, Diddy Kong had his own racing game, and I like that more than Mario Kart, but nobody ever
Oh my
talked about
gosh.
it.
I think that's a good
See?
answer.
That is a good answer. Yeah.
That opens up to conversation.
Yeah,
Fair,
exactly.
fair. Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, I love Super Mario just because like that's like those were like some of the first video games that, beside I'm a lot older than you guys. So, yeah, I love Mario Kart. I love being able to play Mario Kart. I'm glad that it's like still popular to this day. I mean, it's a classic, really. And the movie was excellent. Like I actually like got teary-eyed at the end where I was like, girl power, yes! Like the sisters are together, like they found each other and my boys are like, really? You're
Oh,
crying.
so this is the most recent Mario
Oh,
movie you're
yes.
talking.
I'm sorry. The
Okay,
most
gotcha,
recent
gotcha. No,
Mario movie.
gotcha.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just saw the first one because
Oh,
my friend wants to see the second one. We still
yeah.
haven't seen it, but so I just watched the first one, and I love that little that what is that? What is it called in the cage that they're in prison with over the lava? And it's like like
I
we're imminent peril
Is
into the
it
void.
the
is it a
little
boo?
ghost.
Yeah,
Boo,
it's a good.
is that her name?
I haven't seen the new movies, but
Okay.
generally the ghosts in the Mario games are called Boo.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
That
It's
would
on
be
I'm
a
social
great
media a
boo.
lot too. It's on social media a lot too, where it's like it's in a cage, like swinging above lava, and it's saying these like really like awful things in this like really cute voice. And I'm like, it's
mm,
like the best part of
It's
the movie.
it's been a minute since I saw the first one. It's been like a minute, and like I just went and saw the second one in the movie theaters recently, so that's like fresh in my brain right now. And they had the tiny little
Yeah.
mm.
Bowser, like he had like the baby Bowser,
Oh,
and then
cute.
anyways, yeah, with Jack Black,
Yeah.
he was perfect for that.
Jack
Um,
Black was great in that movie. I now I wish I was more into Mario. Like my first video game was Tony Hawk Pro Skater on the PlayStation.
And
That
you know
was
what?
my
Good for
very
you.
I
first
love
Nice.
Tony
For
one.
Hawk.
you.
And then it
Nice.
was what was it? We had Rayman and we had Crash Bandicoot. So those were like we
Oh,
didn't have like
Yeah,
the Mario stuff. We had PlayStation when I was growing up. So
yeah.
I I'm like I feel like I missed out on this like big cultural thing.
What is your first video game, Lloyd?
My first video game? That's a hard question to answer. I
Okay, all
could
right.
prob like it's probably it was probably Super Mario, like the original Super Mario, because we had like, my mom had like an
Yeah.
Atari and a Super Nintendo, what have it. First game I ever beat, I know, was Super Mario 64, because I made it everyone's business that I beat that game by myself.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
I'm a huge gamer, so
Yeah.
Gabby, what was your
Yeah.
first
my
video game?
first?
Yeah.
Uh, well, it was on my brother's PlayStation, but it was Dexter's Lab.
I don't even know
Dexter's
that.
Mm,
I
Lab.
don't know Dexter's
Dexter's
Lab.
Laboratory. Wow.
Yeah,
I, oh
That's
my
so
God.
specific.
Mm.
it was a dance game and I loved it
That's so
with
fun.
Dee Dee.
Oh, God.
I love that.
I don't know Dexter. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna have to look it up. But well, thank you for coming on today. We have one final
Yes,
question. We
thank
always
you.
ask. I'm gonna have Lloyd ask it.
Oh,
This
okay.
time, yeah, I'm gonna have you do it. I'm gonna put you on the spot. And it's just for you, and
Okay.
then yeah, go ahead. Go, Lloyd.
Cool. Also, yes, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
of everything you have done in your life, what are you the most proud of?
Mm, I'm most proud of everything I've done in my life. What am I the most proud of?
Hmm.
Going out on my own and like the yeah, like leaving a community that I was born into that was not healthy and like completely walking away from absolutely everything
Wow.
and just starting out totally on my own young with not really any safety nets or anything because it was really scary, but I'm really really glad it worked out and I think that I if I had stayed, I don't know if I would have survived, but it's one of those things I'm like I'm actually healthy and like happy and that was something that I didn't have until I got out of that community was I was in my 20s. And I'm really
Wow.
really proud I was
Love
able
that.
to
Good
do
for
that.
I
you.
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
good for
Yeah.
you.
And that's really
you.
relatable too
That
for,
takes so much
it's
courage.
yeah, it
It takes a
does.
lot
It's
of guts.
scary.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
scary as fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
it
'cause there's times
is.
where you're like, when shit gets bad, you're like, I don't have a safety net. I don't know who to go to. Like, do I go back? Like, will they even like take me back or
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah.
And
Right.
building up a family that's completely found family, and
Yeah.
it takes like some time to build that and then to feel secure in it too.
Yeah.
And yeah, just I don't know, like proud. I guess I'm proud of it, but I'm very grateful more than anything. I would
Yeah.
say.
I love that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's
So thank
important because I think like, just blood doesn't necessarily mean family, like you can
Hmm.
Yeah.
create your own family,
Yep.
from all different places and phases and areas of your life, and that's so important, you know?
Yeah. What are you
So,
guys the most proud of
oh
in
no.
your whole lives?
Oh
Wow.
gosh.
Wow.
Has
Wow.
anybody turned the tables on
No,
you before
you're
and
the
done
first
that?
Round
How the
That's
table.
wild.
turntables?
Oh man.
I mean, I would
Uh,
have to say my boys, but like, you know, I mean, in this lifetime, if we, you know, in this lifetime, the one thing I'm most proud of are my boys. And that's, you know, most parents gonna say that. But I also am proud of the point that like I too left a toxic you know, place and people and it opened up spaces and places for me to bring in more positivity. And so I'm proud of, you know, it's hard to do. It's a very difficult thing to do. And you get a lot of pushback from a lot of people who don't understand because they, you know, they just don't. So, Lloyd,
definitely. Yeah.
we'll do another
oh
little round
man.
table.
Yeah, I think that if I were the thing that I am most proud of is the journey I am currently on in life, because it is one that I never thought I would be on. I was always like, I love reading and writing, but never like any kind of performing arts. And the amount of, I actually had someone say to me on Wednesday, because I do a lot of improv, somebody who's been doing improv for a long time was like, I feel like you've been doing improv for like a decade. And I was like, I've been doing improv for like 4 years. And like somebody who a couple of people who I really respect and think they're great. And then they started dropping compliments on me, and I'm not good at taking compliments. And I was like, thanks, guys. We can chill now. But like I will say that I am very proud of like
That's cool.
the constant uh drive I have had to do things that scare me so that I can live the life I want to in the future.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome, man.
I love
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
Gabby, do you
I'm
want
so proud
to?
of you, Lloyd.
Yeah, I know. Do you want to chime in?
Thank you. And my friends. I have such
Oh
amazing friends.
boy.
Okay, okay, sorry.
We're not getting out of here until somebody starts crying.
Well, my first answer, obviously, as a mom, I have to say my son. But um, other than that, I would say my will to keep going and moving forward,
Yeah.
because there has been many phases in my life where it's been difficult, and you kind of hit rock bottom and you don't know which direction to go to or who to look for
Mm-hmm.
guidance. So those are the moments where I've felt the darkest, and yet my will like allows me to see a light. And so that has, I would say for me, that's what I'm most proud
I like that. I like that a
Awesome.
lot.
That.
I love that. Oh, all right. No one's crying. All right. We're all it's all happiness now. Um
Happy
uh
crying inside.
happy oh, we're crying. Oh my gosh. Tony, so do you want to share with us like a little bit about like maybe some how someone can get a hold of you or how they can find you so they can see your content, or maybe they want to reach out to you about coaching or, you know, consulting, or, you know, how to get started in this business, because I know you do a lot of that stuff, and maybe they just want to see your fun videos that you put on
Sure.
Instagram.
yeah.
Actually, TikTok, you're all over. You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere. Anywhere you can be monetized. So I am not coaching or consulting one-on-one
Oh, okay.
for the foreseeable future. I will do pop-ups every once in a while where
Okay.
I will do like group sessions and classes, but I am booked out for the foreseeable future. So I am not doing one-on-ones, unfortunately. But I do have materials that I make available to folks.
Okay.
So you can find that on my YouTube. I'm at the Tawny Platis on YouTube. Everywhere else, I'm just at Tawny Platis. And if you want to hang out, come to San Diego Comic-Con. I'm going to be speaking on a panel about
Ooh,
women in entertainment. I'm representing the voice acting section of that.
very cool.
And my
Very
website is tawnyvoice.com. If you get really lost, you can find all the things there. That is the hub.
awesome. Thank you
So
so much.
thank you so
Yeah.
much,
Thank you
Tawny.
for coming
Yeah.
on. It
Thank
was
you.
really nice to meet you and talk to you and hang out.
Yeah.
So we
Thanks for having
appreciate
me. This was a
Yeah.
blast. I appreciate you guys.
Um,
Mm,
you're
thank you.
Appreciate
welcome.
you.
Yeah.
Um, thanks, Gabby, for inviting her.
Well, thank you, Tawny, for accepting.
I know.
Thank
I'm
you all of you for being here today.
you are definitely a host on a podcast. You like that's awesome. I'm like we're done. I'm not gonna pause it officially though. So just in case, you never know, because I always get in trouble from these guys because I'll hit pause and then like something gets said and then they're like, why did you hit pause? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, yeah. So we're everywhere, but we're also sort of indie and like, and pushing out stuff. But at the same time, unless you push out something like 100 TikToks in a day, it's hard to like climb that mountain. So
Oh, it's a lot. Like I'm
And even
right
then, it's
now.
still hard.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, even if you have all the tools and the resources, like I have a studio that is my studio with a director, with a producer, with an editing team, with a scheduler, and it's like we're still like I'm not in the top 100 or anything, like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we are doing all the consistent posting and everything, and like we're just grateful that we were monetized within 2 months. Like now we're making
Yeah.
like decent money off of it within 2 months, and that is like huge.
That is
But
huge.
even yeah, so it's like it's paying for itself. But even like with that, it's like you can have everything right, and there's still stuff that it's like it just doesn't take off for whatever reason, and we have everybody who's like in the know working on the stuff, and you don't know why.
Yeah, I know.
It's yeah, it is what it is. So I always tell people that too. I'm just like, it doesn't mean your stuff's not good if
Yeah.
it's not going viral.
It's just because like you're buried underneath like all this other content and people, and that goes with voice acting too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like just because like you auditioned and you could have been excellent, but like there could have been like 10 or 15 other women that were also excellent, and it's just a matter of like the voice that was in the head of the person who's choosing. And this other person sounded like that voice in their head that they were looking for.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just like,
Right,
it's
right time,
interesting.
right place. I tell everybody that too, where it's
Mhm.
like you can do everything right, and so much of it is still dependent on being right place, right time, which really
Mhm.
means luck. And that's what's
Yes.
so scary is because you can do everything right,
Yeah.
and that doesn't mean anything because you have to have the luck in there too. You have to be banging on all cylinders, which is
Hmm.
also why I recommend networking. I tell everybody, I'm like, try to make friends, as many friends in places as you possibly can, because people like to hire their friends. That is something I have noticed across the 3 decades I've been doing this is I don't get hired through auditions. I get hired through people that like me, who know me, who I've met, who find my content, and they're like, "Oh, she's, oh, I really like her. I click with her. I just like her a lot." And then they will offer me the thing. So
Oh,
I don't even really audition very much anymore unless it's
really?
something that like is really cool that's being brought to me, where it's like, and everybody's going to be auditioning for it, but it's something huge where it's like a, you know, like you'd be like one of the title roles on a Disney
Yeah.
series. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll audition for that. But the rest of the stuff, I'm like, I don't do it anymore just because it's so competitive. I'm like, I want to make those direct connections with the
Yeah.
voice seekers.
Yeah. That makes
Mhm.
sense. That's like I
Yeah.
like that. That's awesome. That's like that's a goal. That's a
Oh yeah.
career goal. Like that's a direction to get to. So
Yeah.
yeah, right now we're kind of in that space where it's like we have to audition for anything and everything, and like it's all about the
Hmm.
numbers game. But that's okay because that's like how you move forward and
Yeah.
you like do
Mhm.
the work and
And there's
and
some
that's it.
people I know too. Like one of the guys, I'm one of my best friends. He's also a voice actor, and he's one of the top earners in our industry. And he auditions all day, every day, and that's how he does his stuff. It's the vast majority of where he's getting his work. It didn't
Yeah.
work for me,
Yeah.
so that's why it was like I did the social media route,
I love it. Yeah.
and we do about the same, you know.
Yeah.
So like
That's cool.
I went that route because I'm like, okay, this makes more sense to me. This is
Yeah.
what's working for me. This isn't working.
Yeah.
Okay, what makes sense? What would I do? Like what
Yeah.
again just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like you just have to do that in everything that you approach with life. With It's just like,
Yeah.
is this what everybody's telling you to do because it's what the experts say, which is worth listening to in a lot of circumstances, but like where do you see again a clear path for yourself, and what makes sense to you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then a lot of times you might think that you figured it out and you didn't. You have to try something else, and
Get a
it's
pivot.
all part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's
True.
like, see, that's why we don't pause. That's why we don't pause. We're
Well, you said you
editing
weren't
that in.
Yeah.
pausing. I had to give you something.
I love that.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Tawny.
And
My
Thank
thank you
you
for
pleasure.
so
sharing.
much.
Yeah, thanks for
My
sharing your
pleasure.
Thank
time
you.
with us. I appreciate it. And
My
I know,
pleasure.
yeah, and Lloyd, I don't know where you are at, but I know you probably have things to do and places to go and people to see. So I appreciate you
Uh,
popping in tonight too.
this ended up being my last thing. Unless I get a call back for the musical that I auditioned for yesterday, then I need to drive back to Vegas
Oh,
tonight.
that's the
But we'll
life.
see.
This is what we signed
Yeah.
up for. So
Yep.
Are you in Nevada, Lloyd?
Yes, I'm born and raised in Vegas, but my dad, stepmom, and sister live in Gardena, which
Okay.
is in LA. So I am lucky enough to have like a bed or couch to sleep on when I need to do stuff in LA.
Oh, so you just go back and forth between Vegas and LA?
Yep.
Damn. See, I go back and forth between San Diego and LA, and I'm pissed about it.
I'll see. Yeah, I realized I think today that I've spent 22 weekends of the past 52 weeks in LA, and that's crazy to me.
Wow.
Wow.
Jeez.
How
That's a
many of those
lot,
got me
Lloyd.
paid? Zero.
That's
That's
but you're
eventually.
yeah,
Oh, that's a
eventually.
lot.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of it was classes.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
do
Oh, okay.
taking improv classes. Yeah. So
Yeah. So it's school.
Yeah.
yeah,
That makes sense.
It's building your career. It's building your passion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
yes,
sense.
indeed.
Getting you in the right direction. Yeah. People don't understand that. They don't realize that like there's a lot that goes on behind, like you're saying, the scenes before you actually, like you said, the 30-year success story, which I think is hilarious. It's like, you know,
No,
it's
truly,
a
because like I
lot of
can't tell you how many like of those things I've been interviewed for, like been on stuff where they're just like, you just blew up overnight, and I'm like, uh-huh, like no, absolutely not. Like, and there's all like the again 2016, and then people just I got on people's radars within the last few years. So it's
yeah.
and
Right.
even before that, it was all the acting and everything, but
Yeah.
people don't see that. It
Yeah.
happens like where you do have some of those people that just post and they have no background or anything like that, and they just blow up. But it again, it's luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of the time it's like, oh yeah, no, they were pouring a mountain of gunpowder, and then it just caught fire one night. That's how it happened.
There it is.
Like, yeah.
Or you can be
Yeah.
the content creators that just scream their heads off at someone else playing video games who are also screaming that my kids love. I'm like, why? Why?
It's a
Okay, whatever.
niche.
I know it
It's
is, but
fun. It's I'm like this
It's a
close to
niche.
starting a reaction channel.
oh my God.
You
You,
you'd probably be great at it.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
should be the
I
voice of
probably will.
reason. It should be the voice of reason reaction channel. So it should be like the
Ooh, I like
opposite,
that.
like calm.
I literally have been thinking about that today, and I'm not going to make this a very long thing. There's an
Yeah, I gotta
anime called
go.
Witch Hat Atelier that came out. There's a little girl who starts learning how to do magic. She's writing all these symbols and doing magic, and then she opens a book, and there's like a symbol with a dragon, and she decides to draw that one. And I'm like, you seem like a reasonable and intelligent child. Maybe don't draw the dragon. Maybe, maybe we don't draw the dragon because you almost set your room on fire. Like, let's, and I'm like, I could make a video about dumb decisions people make in things.
Do
I
it.
could just make it a
Here's
series.
Yeah,
It's like
you
here's
should.
where you went wrong.
Yeah.
Here's where it went
Mm.
wrong.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do it. You should do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Voice of
maybe.
reason. Yep, I love it. The calm voice of reason. All right, you guys, I have to go and I rescued my dogs that I left outside. They're inside safely because
Oh,
it's very hot. But I have to go feed children because they're like, they have to be fed and watered and they have to eat. And this is like my thing. So it was so good to see your faces. Tony, it was so nice
Yeah,
to meet
same.
you.
Thank
yes.
Yep,
you
Nice
so
it
to
was great
much.
to
meet
meet you
Stay in
you. Good
guys.
to
touch.
see you
Yeah,
guys.
and I'll be in touch over email and I'll
Awesome.
send it all directly to you. So, all right,
Great. Thanks,
bye.
guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Sending so
Bye.
much love.
Bye. Bye.